Welcome back to Horror Story Radio. Are you ready for another chilling tale? Today's true story describes what it's like to live in a haunted house, where things don't just go bump in the night, they rise up from the floors. Without further ado, please enjoy Beneath the Floorboards. If you're reading this, you're probably already skeptical. I would be too. Hell, I was skeptical once. Before the house. Before the nights where I'd wake up soaked in sweat, certain something had been breathing against my skin. Before I learned you don't have to believe in ghosts for them to believe in you. It started 2 years ago when I bought the place on Palmer Street, an old Victorian, 3 stories, leaning a little on one side, paint peeling like sunburned skin. It was dirt cheap, practically a steal. The realtor said it had character, the way you might say a man with a scar across his face had personality. From day one, it felt wrong. Not like bad vibes wrong. More like the house itself was watching me, judging me. I told myself it was just an old house selling. I even laughed about it at first. Doors swinging open on their own, lights flickering when there was no wind, the floorboards creaking under invisible footsteps. But it didn't stay funny for long. The first real incident happened a few weeks after I moved in. I'd been painting the upstairs hallway, working late into the night. I heard footsteps behind me, slow, deliberate. When I turned, there was no one there, only the fresh, wet paint shimmering in the dim light. But there were footprints, bare, child-sized footprints, trailing through the paint. They led right up to me. Then they stopped. My first thought was rational. Someone had broken in. A kid. Maybe a neighbor playing a prank. I rushed through the house, checking every door, every closet. Empty. I tried scrubbing the footprints off the floor, but no matter how hard I scrubbed, faint outlines remained. Even now, sometimes when the light hits just right, you can see them, pale and ghostly. It got worse. The knocking started next. Always 3 knocks, slow and heavy, from somewhere deep inside the walls. Sometimes just behind my headboard as I was trying to sleep. Sometimes from under the floorboards, as if someone were trapped beneath the house, pleading to be let out. One night I snapped. I grabbed a crowbar and tore open a patch of drywall where the knocking was loudest. Nothing. Just wooden beams and blackness, a rot-like smell oozing out like a breath held too long. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat in my bed, crowbar across my lap, listening. The knocking started again, but now it was different, closer, almost inside my skull. A few nights later, I woke up to the smell of something burning. My first thought was electrical fire. I staggered out of bed, my heart hammering, only to find the house freezing cold. There at the end of the hallway stood a figure. It was small. A child, maybe 6 or 7 years old. I couldn't make out details, just the outline. Thin, head tilted slightly as if curious. And then it moved. Not walked. Slid. Right toward me, gliding silently over the worn floorboards. I ran, slamming the door of my room and locking it, barricading it with the dresser. I sat there all night, my back pressed against the door, shivering not from cold, but from a deep, animal terror. I tried to leave, packed a bag, threw it in my car, and peeled out of the driveway. I didn't care where I went, a motel, a friend's couch, anywhere but there. I made it about 6 blocks before my engine died. Not sputtered. Died. As if something had reached into the car and snuffed it out. When the tow truck came, the driver gave me a strange look. Battery's fine, he said. Starter's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with this car. I had no choice but to go back. When I walked into the house, the air was thick, heavy, and on the mirror in the hallway, written in a greasy black residue, were the words, "Where do you think you're going?" I don't remember screaming, but the next thing I knew I was on the front lawn, dry heaving into the grass. Sleep became impossible. Every night was a parade of horrors. Shadows that didn't match my movements. Voices whispering from the heating vents. Things brushing against me in the dark. And the dreams. always the same. I was in the crawl space beneath the house, my body wedged between the beams, unable to move. Something was down there with me. Something waiting. I'd wake up gasping, the taste of dirt and blood in my mouth. I started doing research. Desperation does that to you. I dug through public records, newspaper archives, anything I could find. The house had been built in 1876 by a man named Elias Granger. He'd lived there with his wife and two children. In 1883, during a brutal winter, all four of them disappeared. The town whispered about it for years. Some said Granger had gone mad, murdered his family, and hidden their bodies within the house. Others said they fled into the woods to escape something worse. No bodies were ever found. I hired a priest. I don't even believe in that stuff, but by then I was willing to try anything. He walked through the house, swinging a censer of burning incense, muttering Latin. As he approached the basement door, he went still. "It doesn't want me here," he said, voice shaking. Before I could ask what he meant, the door slammed shut behind him. Locked. From the other side, I heard him praying louder and louder until it turned into shouting. And then, silence. When I finally managed to break the door open, the basement was empty. No sign of the priest. Only the censer, lying on its side, still smoldering. I tried to tell people. Friends. Cops. They smiled politely, nodded, and stopped returning my calls. It didn't matter. The house wasn't interested in them. Only me. About 6 months in, something changed. I woke up one night to find myself standing at the top of the stairs, teetering on the edge, one step away from falling. I don't remember getting out of bed. I don't remember walking there. I only remember the voice, soft, almost sweet, whispering in my ear. Jump. I moved my bed into the living room after that, avoiding the stairs altogether. I barely slept, barely ate. I was a shadow of myself, skin hanging off my bones, eyes sunken and haunted. I had to get out. Had to. I sold the house for a fraction of what I paid. Didn't care. Just needed to leave. The day I moved out, as I was carrying the last box to the truck, I felt it again. That cold breath against the back of my neck. And then a whisper. "You'll be back." I didn't look. I didn't even lock the door behind me. I just drove, not stopping until I was 4 states away. That should be the end of the story. But 2 nights ago in my new apartment, modern, clean, bright, I woke to a sound I hadn't heard in months. 3 slow, heavy knocks against the bedroom wall. I tried telling myself it was the pipes, the neighbors, anything rational. But when I turned over, the mirror across the room had fogged up, though there was no moisture in the air. And written across it, in a small child's handwriting, were 2 words. "Miss me?"